It's not safe to be in these mushrooming prophetic ministries. It's not
Honestly,
safe.
see, I'm speaking from experience. I found myself doing a whole lot of things in that church, that prophetic church, that I didn't believe I can do for anybody.
What were you doing?
Well, I was always trying to help out. I would try to do kitchen chores for Papa. I would try to sweep his house, mop his house. But then this is the Papa that is married. He was married, and then I think somewhere along the line, his wife got sick, and the wife died. Now, before the wife died, I became closer to the wife. Yeah, I'm here.
How was it? Did you finish reading the Dark Clothes?
I did. I finished reading it just like you said within 3 hours. It's something you can't drop. When you pick it up, you just can't stop reading. You just want to know the next point till the end.
Which church have you been going to?
Well, I'm a Catholic.
Oh, you're
I'm a
Catholic.
Catholic. Yeah, but sometime no, I was born in the Catholic Church, and sometime along the line, I decided to go to one prophetic church,
Mhm.
and I took my two legs out. I stayed in that prophetic church, I think, for like 2 years, and then I left. But I tell you, everything I read here was just playing back. Yeah, I was just playing back with all the things that happened in that church. And truth be told, if you walk into a prophetic church and you are just okay, take your hands up, bring your handkerchief, you sing praises, worship, pastors preaches, and you leave, well, you will not see anything. You will not even know anything. But when you want to be sanctuary worker, you want to be to work for Papa, or you want to work for Daddy, you want to be closer to Daddy, you start seeing a whole lot. You see a whole lot, which I saw in that Pentecostal church I went to. And I remember sometime the pastor told us he was going to go to Ghana to have he said you had a prayer, whatever, whatever in Ghana. He went to Ghana. I think he stayed in that Ghana for I think a week and came back. Now we were asking ourselves, he came back from Ghana. He didn't bring us Ghana Kente, that's a Kente material. He didn't bring anything like, somebody who traveled out of the country and comes back with something. But now, as I'm reading this book, it's beginning to, play in my head. Could it be he went seeking for more for powers or something? So I think I really don't doubt this book. I don't doubt this book because a lot of things played out in that church. A lot of things played out that are reflecting what I read in that book. It's terrible and it's so sad.
Once he say he's going to Ghana, just know it's a route to Benin.
Yeah, by that time we didn't know. Nobody had an idea that anything like that was happening. We just felt, oh, they say he has a crusade in Ghana. Now we were expecting to see pictures from the crusade. We were expecting to see, this crusade. We didn't see no pictures. We didn't see nothing. And after a week, he was back. Nothing showed he went to preach. No pictures in his phone. No, nothing. And he was just telling us the people in Ghana say I should greet the congregation, and everybody was just happy. Hey, Papa is back, Daddy is back, Daddy is back. I mean, guy,
Papa had gone to Benin for rituals.
honestly,
All these major prophets. And when I generalize to say all, people think I'm exaggerating. But I have an entire list of them all. We have gone for these rituals. We have done these rituals. But after reading this testament, will you ever step your feet in a prophetic ministry again?
never, never. I make bold to say so. Never. See, there is actually, no church is void of these ills, but some at least have these lesser ills, because I'm not going to be preaching my church at this point. But I think I'm more comfortable here because You are left, you are being told the truth about the Bible. Now it's your choice to know what you want. There is no prosperity preaching in here. There is nothing like, oh, you must not get sick. There's nothing like a fly passes left, right, back, and front. You just start suspecting that fly, and then Papa just tells you, oh, it's one of your mother in the village, and you just start looking for one grandmother in the village that has issues, and you just bring money for them to start praying. You bring this, you can't buy. No, 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 no. I will never, truth be told, I will never, never. Not even for, not even for a child education. Just don't invite me. I'm not gonna come. For real.
Now it's very dangerous, and I hope people that are listening to you, my sister, can learn one or two things. It's not safe to be in these mushrooming prophetic ministries. It's not
Honestly,
safe.
see, I'm speaking from experience. I found myself doing a whole lot of things in that church, that prophetic church, that I didn't believe I can do for anybody.
What were you
But,
doing?
well, I was always trying to help out. I would try to do kitchen chores for Papa. I would try to sweep his house, mop his house. But then this is the Papa that is married. He was married, and then I think somewhere along the line, his wife got sick and the wife died. Now, before the wife died, I became closer to the wife. So before she died, I was like the closest person. And then when she passed, so we kept now going to help Papa. Beauty of life is this, or beauty of this whole thing is that I was lucky. I should say so. I was lucky. He didn't make an attempt to touch me. That I was lucky. I should put it that way, because he didn't make an attempt on that. Yeah, he did not make an attempt on that. But I saw a whole lot of things. I saw a whole lot of strange things.
How did
I
the wife
went.
die?
Sorry.
How did the wife die?
I would not even be able to tell you that I know what happened, but she just fell sick. We really didn't know what was wrong with her. She was just sick. Today they said she has fever. Tomorrow, daddy will say, "Oh, tomorrow, she's how did he put it? He say she's um, she's sick of the good sickness." That's how he put it. So we thought that she was pregnant.
But was this before he went to Ghana or after he came to Ghana?
No, the wife started getting sick. I think it's after he came back. Yeah, because it's after he came back. Yeah, 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 yeah. After he came back, because when she died, it was after he came back. It was after he came back, because I remember when he was to leave for that Ghana trip, he took my family, myself, my kids, my husband. He said we should go for a small lunch. And so we went for lunch. He said his flight was for a night flight. And so we just went out with him for lunch, finished the lunch, and then we left. He said we were thinking of dropping him off at the airport. He said, no, no, we shouldn't worry. He's going to do both to go. So we left him, and we left. His wife was still alive then and working. She was working. She was working. Very pretty lady. She was working in the bank.
And when he came
And
back,
before we know it,
that's when the wife passed away.
yeah,
Time after.
when he came back, yeah, after some time she became sick. She started getting serious with her ill health started deteriorating. We were thinking she was pregnant, so we're happy that at least she was gonna have a baby, because they were like newly married. So we kept hoping, and this belly was not coming out. And we kept looking. Some days she won't come for for church service, and he would make excuses to say, "Oh, today she didn't wake up well. She's not too strong. Now women, we should know now. And we were happy, but after like 2, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, we didn't see anything. And at the end of the day, they claimed that she was pregnant, and maybe she had a miscarriage. But I, that was close, didn't ever see her go to the hospital for any miscarriage situation. So we kept wondering in my head, what's going on? What's going on? Something is going on. We don't know what's going on. And that was how this woman started becoming sick, started just going and going and going and going and going. Now, there was a day I went to their house. They live in a duplex. And I was downstairs and she was upstairs, and our supposed daddy had left the house, went somewhere. I actually felt this strange, chill environment like that downstairs where I sat down. And I'm like, what's happening? As if the hands of death just came in, or angel of death just came in. And I just started praying. I was just praying and praying and praying. At that point, the wife was really seriously sick. So I have to go make food for her, take it upstairs, give it to her, go there, try to clean the place and all of that. So I started praying. I said, what's happening? This place is not comfortable. There's something happening in here. I prayed, 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 prayed. And in my mind, as we always believe that we are being prophetic and being strong and being very religious. But that was it. After like 3 days, she passed. And before she passed, it took her to I left the house in the afternoon, went to my own house. In the evening, nobody told me that evening he rushed her to the hospital. Now, the next day in the morning, I was preparing to go see her when he called me to tell me, oh, you don't need to come, that she had gone to the hospital. So I said, hospital? Is it really that bad? She said, oh, well, yes. He just took her to the hospital and she was on admission. She was on admission the night before. So I said, okay, should I go to the hospital to check? He said, no, I shouldn't bother, that there are people in the hospital. I said, okay. By the very next day, he just called me to say she passed. I mean,
Sister,
I
these
was
are the
like,
things.
I don't understand.
These are exactly
That was
the
just it.
things I
That's
talk
it.
about in
That's
this
how she just
testimony.
died.
Listen,
That's how she just died.
listen.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, you were moving too fast. When you're talking, listen, because there are things that you said that I want you to clarify so that people can understand certain things. When the wife died, I want you to focus more on what happened after the wife died. How close was this prophet to the wife? Did he get closer to the body, to the corpse, or he was very distant? Did not want any closeness or proximity with the corpse. How far was he?
Now, when the wife died, because the wife died in the city, now she was to be moved to the village. He didn't move her to the village. He had to send someone who is a church member, a brother who is a church member in the church, was the one that moved the body from the city, closer home, to a mortuary closer to the village. Now, he was here while the wife was down the other way. He never went to the mortuary to see her. Now, he was here until about 2 or 3 days to the funeral. Then he left and went down to the village. We were thinking that when he gets there, he was going to go to the mortuary to see the wife. But when he got there, he never still went there. The only time he got to the mortuary was when they went to bring the wife back. He didn't come out of the car. They went there with the ambulance. He just sat down in the car. They went and put her inside the ambulance. Then he drove, and I think the ambulance was ahead. He was behind, and that was how the convoy left. And then they first went to the wife's place and left the wife's place to his own place. Immediately they arrived, he just went inside the house. And then everybody was thinking that he's feeling this bad and all of that. And they opened her corpse. We all went there to see her. He did not go to see her when they opened the coffin.
You know why?
He claimed to be feeling so bad.
Do you know why?
We fired round, but he did not fire around that coffin.
Do you know why?
We wouldn't know why, but now I know why.
Oh, how do you know why?
Now I can tell. After reading this your book, why will I not put two and two together to understand it better?
My sister, do you know what makes me happy now with your testimony, with what you are saying? You have experienced exactly what I wrote, and this is my first time talking to you. And to someone who is reading or who read this book might think some of these things are just, someone who has never been to a prophetic ministry might think maybe there are some exaggerations to the story and things that happen in prophetic ministries. But the way you have explained your testimony is exactly how I put it in this book. When it comes to funerals, men of God, prophets, all the prophets who went to the Dark Lords of Benin for rituals will never attend funerals and will never get anywhere close to the corpse, to the deceased. And there's a reason for that. They don't do it out of ignorance or anything. It's a covenant condition that anyone you sacrifice, if you make any sacrifice, with what you told me, I can tell you 100% with conviction that this wife was sacrificed. And this prophet made sure that he will never get anywhere close to the body. No matter how much you are grieving, my sister, if your husband dies, you will be there right next to him, be it in the mortuary or even on body viewing. You will never say, I'm not going to view the body. I'm not going to get too close. When you go to the mortuary, you stay in the car.
Oh, yeah.
And other people are doing all the logistics, going to see her and stuff like that. If he made the mistake of getting close to that body, if he made that mistake, it was going to backfire. That's how the ritual works.
No, but I think that he had small issues. Look, I think he had small issues. I think she also tormented him well enough because sometimes he comes every Sunday, he comes to the pulpit. Half of the preaching is all about the wife. Oh, she was a mermaid. She came from the spirit world. She has come to pack her things. She has come to trouble him. She has come to make noise. She has come to carry this. She has come to carry that. Until at one time, we had to go to him to say, you know what? You need to allow this woman to rest. You keep talking about her every Sunday, how she comes. I mean, she's dead and gone now. Why don't you allow her rest?
She's
Honestly,
not
he
resting.
refused to even give out even the woman's things.
She was not
He
resting.
refused to give them out to the family. He didn't give her things to anybody.
Listen, there are some spirits that are stubborn. And I'm pretty sure that woman was very stubborn. She was a stubborn
Honestly,
spirit. And she kept coming back for him. And all those
she
spirits
was.
of the people, these prophets
She did.
sacrifice, will always come back to haunt them. At night, they don't sleep. Don't think they sleep. They have no peace. For him to start preaching about his own wife being a mermaid, for him to start making sermons about his own wife who passed away in a bad way, or defaming the character of the dead, it's enough proof that that woman was now fighting him, asking him, why did you take my life away? It's only when you die.
Honest.
The thing is, spiritual, this is how spiritual things work. It's only when you die. That's when you realize who was behind your death. That's when you have the closure of understanding who was behind your death. Was it natural or it was fostered by some dark forces? It's only when she realized that it's her own husband who
We
was
even
behind
still
this,
had
started coming back for him. And she started haunting him.
we had another funeral. We had another funeral in that church. We lost another very close brother who works as a sanctuary worker. His wife died. Now, when the wife died, they were trying to make arrangements on how to take her home, arrangement for funeral and all of that. We were expecting the church to be fully involved. Now, the man went and did his posters, the funeral posters and all of that. And this daddy just came up to say, oh, he was too quick to do posters. Because of that, he's angry. The woman was not dead. He wanted to go to the mortuary and, resurrect her or something. And so we now said, okay, should he tear the posters so that you can go to the mortuary? He said, yes. Now this man had to destroy all those posters. And then he fixed a date that they will go to the mortuary. Do you know that? But when it was that date, they got to the mortuary. He never stepped his feet out of the car. He just asked, where is the mortuary? They said, see the mortuary. He stood inside his car and prayed and told them to go home. He told everybody that they should all go, told the driver to take him back home, and told the man that your wife will meet you in the house. Believe me, 2 days later, we're hoping to see the man come to the church to say, my wife is back. And that was it.
You see,
Yes.
everything you are saying, okay, everything you are telling me right now is in the Dark Lords of Benin. I explained the reasons why.
Yes. I saw it and I'm like,
What you are doing right now is giving
and
me a testimony of the
I
things I
read it.
wrote
I
about.
just no, I'm not joking. The things you wrote, I witnessed them live. I may not witness other things, but I witnessed almost half of what you wrote. This daddy guy became a woman daddy all the way. Anything in skirt, he's ready for it. He will patronize hotels. He patronizes the call girls. And if you are not, like I said, a close person, you will never know. Now, there was this time he came to the pulpit to announce that, oh, they've sent girls to come from the kingdom of the devil to come and tempt the other pastors in the church. And he was warning pastors that, please, when you see new girls are going to be coming to church by next week, when you see them, don't talk to them, don't try to be close to them, because they have come to lure you, they've come to tempt you, so you have to be far away from them. And that is how these people, by Sunday, he said that thing, for instance, this Sunday, and by the other Sunday, we saw that some girls actually came to church. Now, after church, these girls went to greet him, and after greeting him, they left for his house. It was later I got to know that it's not true that they were his women. But and because he didn't want any other person to get close, he didn't want anybody to investigate. He now first brought the propaganda of the fact that some strange people are coming and people should stay away from them. And of course, these girls were beautiful, yeah. So everybody we were all looking at them like, see these ones, they've come to tempt our daddy. They cannot catch our daddy. Our daddy is going to remove the spirit from them. We didn't know that it was his women. It was later we got to know all these things. I'm telling you.
Liz, what's
When
your
I
advice?
read that book,
What's your
everything
advice?
came back to me.
Eh?
Honestly, my advice, I would not say that people shouldn't go to church, but I would say that people shouldn't go to all these prophetic churches. All these people who always just think that they need to see your future, they need to see your past, they need to see your present, they need to tell you what's going on in your family, they want to lay their hands on you, they want to tell you anointing service this week, washing of feet next week, the other day, washing of face, handkerchief, all those kind of churches, trash for me. Just go to a church that will talk to you about salvation. Just go to a church that will tell you just like you talk about all this all this release, each time you release, the kind of things that happen spiritually. Those are the kind of things we want to hear. Those are the things that will change us. Those are the things that will make people to change. But when all we want, all a whole lot of people want are money. How am I going to make money? How am I going to make money? I need to make money. And they look at you and say, brother, I see you. You are supposed to be rich. You were supposed to have been rich 3 years ago. Brother, I see you. You are supposed to be married. Sister, you are supposed to be married to one governor since 5 years ago. Somebody blocked your way and all of this kind of stuff. So those kind of churches, I will not advise anybody to go.
What do you have to say to people who have not yet downloaded the Dark Lords of Benin?
They are missing. They better go and download. A whole lot of them have come to me to say I should share it with them. And I told one person, I said, now, if I have to share this book all over to everybody, how is Prof going to even make this impact? Because you need to spend this money to get the book. If I have to give you, I give A, I give B, I give up to Z, then there's no point. How is Prof going to make money? And one person was so mad at me in my inbox. She was so mad. And I just told her, well, because you are very rude, I would have even given you, but you are too rude. I'm not going to give you.
Please don't give anyone. Don't give anyone. Let them come and download it. If they don't download it,
exactly,
if they don't incur the cost, they don't deserve it. Thank you, my sister, for your testimony.
Thank you. It's okay.
Maybe,
thank you.
Invite someone else.
You're doing well.
Okay. Oh, my people, you are missing out. If you're in a prophetic church, if you've been in a prophetic church, grab your copy now. But if you want to understand the dark forces behind African men of God and the dark forces behind spiritual fathers, then grab the downloads, the dark lords of Benin. The dark lords of Benin is just exposing the unholy rituals that your spiritual fathers perform to acquire this familiar spirit that they operate with and the lifetime covenants that they signed up for. Covenants that have to be sustained by blood sacrifices, sacrificing their church members, sacrificing their own wives, like the prophet was being mentioned by my sister here, sacrificing their own children, their siblings, their parents, to maintain and sustain these lifetime covenants they made with the dark forces, with the dark lords of Benin. It's information that is worth having. If you want transformation, get information. Go and download it now as we are doing this live. You'll find us here. We'll still be here. We're not going anywhere.